Halo 5's Forge mode is delayed until December. Yes, it's very improved upon and looks great, but I think it's still insanity to delay one of Halo's most influential game modes that inspire community creativity, and here's why. The absence of Forge mode at launch means less content for the community. I'm sure it's obvious enough to imagine all the content that Forge has offered to Halo games in the past, the millions of maps and that fun social experience to just play them in customs with all your friends. But no, with Halo 5, that won't be possible from the get-go. Forge mode helped build a consistent community that gave Halo players a fresh experience and a reason to jump back in for more. Now with the delay, all Halo 5 has to offer is a campaign and a multiplayer. And yes, to a lot of people that's okay, but I think it's missing a big chunk of what set it apart from other shooters in the same genre. Think of Halo's game modes as a puzzle. We have a campaign piece, a multiplayer piece, and a Forge piece. When together, each of these pieces offer a vital part of the overall Halo experience, a completed puzzle. Take that Forge piece out, and you have an unfinished puzzle, hence an uncompleted Halo experience with less content to offer to the community and the player. With that being said, when I talk about Forge mode or spend hours upon hours creating maps using the editor, I think about custom games. Forge and custom games mesh together so well, arguably offering a unique experience to gamers that no other game to this current day can even think about achieving. And now with the announcement of the Forge delay, I'd argue that custom games will be limited. How is the Halo community going to get together and play fun custom games on unique maps? Yes, you can still play customs with your friends on base maps, but what about the special maps that can only be played upon with the adaptation of Forge mode? Game types like Fat Kid, Duck Hunt, Husky Raid, Django, Race, and Infection will all be limited or impossible to play on without the inclusion of Forge mode at launch. I'm not saying fun can't be achieved by playing custom games on base maps at launch of the game, but more or less I'm trying to explain the utmost importance that Forge mode has to offer to the custom game experience. Then I feel there's this current perception that some Halo fans consider Forge as a secondary game mode, or they think that it's only part of the experience. Therefore they chop the Forge delay up as, no big deal, they can just wait for it to release in December. In retrospect, if something like Campaign was delayed, you see people go haywire and riot against 343 because story is considered a primary experience. But I think Forge mode has gained much traction since the likes of Halo 3, and I'd argue that it's now a primary experience just like Campaign or multiplayer, and I even think 343 agreed to an extent. The following clip featuring Halo 5's multiplayer director Kevin Franklin shows just how immersive the forging and custom community actually is.
Why are they stopping playing? They don't like people cheating, they don't want bad players in their games, but it really wasn't enough information for us, so we went and looked for engagement data. So we've always been interested in BI, and luckily with Xbox Live we were able to sort of mine the data and go through everything players were playing. So this is taking us back to 2004, where we started looking at how players were spending their time online. And the biggest standouts here are the arranged game. I really can't understate this one enough. It's something that's been consistent through Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. This is players getting together, creating their own game, fiddling with all the custom game settings, working in Forge and all the user-generated content to build their own game and play with their friends.
The biggest standouts here are the arranged game. I really can't understate this one enough. It's something that's been consistent through Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. This is players getting together, creating their own game, fiddling with all the custom game settings, working in Forge and all the user-generated content to build their own game and play with their friends.
So it's been something when we're thinking about engaging with players, we're always focused on how we can make sure we maintain this experience and give our players the flexibility and freedom to play the games the way they want to.
With that common misconception being resolved, am I really wrong to be concerned for this whole Forge delay fiasco? I completely get that Forge is vastly improved and innovated upon, but the fact of the matter is, why are you alienating such a large and consistent fraction of your community with the absence of Forge mode at launch? Forge and Customs complement each other so well. You've seen the video, 32%. If that many players are actually involved in those game modes, then shouldn't it be a priority to deliver the full experience at launch? I find it ironic that 343 talk about how important the forging and custom community is, yet most of these players won't even get the full experience until late December. Well, who can't wait 2 months for Forge to release? It'll be fine. Seems like a nice way to justify the delay, doesn't it? I myself can wait for Forge mode, but this is the ignorant way of defending Halo 5's Forge delay because in reality, not everyone is willing to wait. Other games will come out and grab people's attention. People will move on. Wouldn't it be better to release the big guns at launch while everyone is there, rather than months later when the population is lowered and spliced due to people buying into other games in the market? Isn't it better to release something when there's more players present, rather than release something for less players later? This way everyone could take advantage of it, leading to potentially higher populations with more content to offer in the beginning. There's also the matter of expectation. When people play a title like Black Ops, they expect a campaign, a multiplayer, and a zombie mode. When people play Halo, they expect a campaign, a multiplayer, and a forge mode. 343 have failed to live up to this expectation. It's like you buy a brand new pair of shoes only to find out they didn't come with laces to support your feet. In comparison, we buy a brand new Halo game only to find out that it doesn't come with Forge mode to support its community. Then I hear people say, stop complaining about the delay, at least we know Forge mode won't launch broken. And here I get mad because delivery and quality go hand in hand when it comes to the release of a new product. I mean really, getting something on time in a quality fashion is an expectation. For instance, if I were to turn my psychology research paper a week after it's due, I would still get a 0, even if it was the best paper ever written among any other psychology student in the class. Why? Because finishing something on time in a quality condition is an expectation. If you're given a deadline, meet up with that expectation. Again, I get that Forge mode is going leaps and bounds in terms of innovation, but that doesn't excuse its absence at launch. Forge mode should have been launched at release in a working state, not a month and a half later. At the end of the day, Forge is a crucial part of the Halo experience, offering limitless content and an abundance of community features. Having it at release would make Halo look better, giving it a better first impression and more content for more players rather than more content for less players later, all the while fulfilling the expectations of many Halo fans of the franchise. Honestly, I want to see Halo be its best and do its best, but I think the absence of Forge mode at launch strips Halo of its crucial community features and ultimately degrades the community in the long run. Thanks for watching the video. I really hope I made sense, and I'm hoping I got my points across in a respectable manner. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and share. Regardless of where you stand, comment your thoughts or concerns on Halo 5 and its absence of Forge mode at launch. Lastly, subscribe to Weapons Grade to view more content about the future of Halo and gaming in general. Peace.